Okay, let's get this thing going here. Greetings, everybody. This is Harmony speaking, and my computer just did a lot of weird stuff. I do apologize. But anyway, what I want to talk about is I'm not really prepared to speak about it. We're in the what we call the developmental stage. So everything I'm about to say, I have no conclusions. This is all speculation. This is pure speculation. Okay. So please do not take this to heart and think it's written in stone or something. We are just beginning to realize that we kind of thought everything was a spiritual attack, and we were thinking everything in the spiritual and higher dimensions. But what we began to realize is that the enemy is actually attacking more on the physical plane. And I'm having let's see here. Where's the picture I had before? Hold on a second here. Stinkers. Dum, dum, dum. Hold on one second. We're having technical difficulty. Okay. Okay, back here again. This is what I wanted. Alright, so basically, the cerebellum part of the brain, it's responsible. You can look it up yourself, do your own research. Basically, it's responsible for fine motor skills. If you dig a little bit deeper, it affects the eyesight and how the eyes work, and it's a rather interesting thing. Much like the top part of the brain, it has a left and right hemisphere as well. So that's why they're showing it separate. It's almost sort of like a separate part of the brain. And the thing is, when you study the brain, you have the front part of the brain, which is called the executive function part of the brain. And, I don't want to bore you to death with a big long video about the brain. But basically, if you're the enemy and if you want to hide, right here, the executive function of the part of the brain, red alert, red alert. I mean, anywhere up in the top part of the brain, it would immediately set off red alerts to the rest of the brain and the body. So we have discovered the enemy has decided to attack this part of the brain, the cerebellum. This is where the enemy seems to attack and reside. So in order to circumvent this, because we don't want to be fear porn here, we want to come up with a solution. The solution seems rather radical, but basically, picture, if you will, a big, it sounds weird, but I picture like a big plate of steel going through my head, through this part of the brain. And once it's here, I lift it up a little bit and I create a space. And it's like, now I can breathe. And then this part, I mean, come on, it looks like a bunch of poop, I have to admit. So basically I begin to expand this to the higher dimensions. 8th dimension is really good. And I begin to expand this in the higher dimensional plane and let it begin to breathe. And then kind of like a roller coaster, if you will, it goes in a loop and you have that hole in the middle. I'll create little loops, roller coasters and stuff, and then air can breathe through. And I begin to restructure the brain and let it aerate and breathe in the higher dimensions. And it's like, that feels so good. So then once I do that, and then we move to remember, I had the plate go through. And now I deal with the lower part. I do the same thing here. I begin to let it expand, let it breathe, aerate, and just like, that feels better. So basically, kind of like if you've ever had a cramp in your leg, it's like, I got a cramp in my leg, and then what do? You massage it. You ever, you have a tight neck muscle, and you massage it. Basically, what I'm talking about, it's kind of hard to massage this brain because it's, we have this thing called a skull around it. So how do you get in there? So what I'm talking about is you spiritually on a higher dimensional level, separate it, let it breathe. Imagine it just breathing. And you do it mentally. So you do what's called mental exercises. And you mentally exercise the brain. And then you mentally exercise that part of the brain. And it's time for everybody to start giving your brain a massage, basically. And begin to let all that stuff just release. It's time for the human beings to release the tension in their brain. I give it a little massage and let it aerate and just So what I call it the super brain. So when I picture something going through here and lifting up, and then I restructure everything at a higher dimensional level, I call it the super brain. So I'm taking the human brain to a higher dimensional level, and I call it super brain. So, people who know me, and if they're having issues in life, I say, can you please do super brain? So that's what I nicknamed it. And I tell people, can you just please do the super brain real quick? Massage the brain, get everything working. It's like, relax a little. It's kind of it's kind of like if your friend comes home and they're all tense. Well, first thing, or how about a relationship, boyfriend girlfriend? Your husband or boyfriend walks in all tense. You want to massage his neck and let him relax a little. It's kind of hard getting to that brain. So I'm giving you instructions on how to go into the brain. Get that thing to relax a little. So that's the point of tonight's discussion. Until next time, everybody. Hope you all doing well out there. God bless. Peace. And be well.